In a world filled with temptations and pressures, a woman who chooses to live alone, without haram relationships, embodies true strength and dignity. Her journey is not loneliness, but empowerment through faith, modesty, and reliance on Allah. Let's explore the power of such a life in Islam. 1. Strength in living alone, without haram. Relationships. Choosing to live alone as a Muslim woman in today's world is not merely a circumstance, it is an act of strength and resilience. Many societies pressure women to measure their worth by companionship, relationships, or constant validation from others. Yet, a woman who embraces solitude without falling into haram companionship demonstrates inner power. She is not swayed by temporary comfort or fleeting desires, but prioritizes her spiritual and moral integrity above all. This strength is not rooted in isolation, but in clarity of purpose. By setting boundaries and refusing to compromise her values, she builds an unshakable character. Living alone becomes a conscious decision to protect her faith and preserve her dignity. It is a reminder that true strength lies not in following societal trends, but in standing firm for what pleases Allah. Such women serve as silent role models, proving that independence, when grounded in faith, is a mark of honor. 2. Reliance on Allah, not people. One of the most profound aspects of living alone is the cultivation of tawakkul, placing complete reliance on Allah. In a world where people often look to others for support, companionship, and fulfillment, a woman who turns her heart solely toward her Creator demonstrates deep spiritual maturity. She learns that true peace and provision come not from human beings, but from the sustainer of all creation. When she relies on Allah, she experiences freedom from unnecessary dependency. Her heart no longer craves constant validation, for she knows that Allah is Al-Wakil, the ultimate guardian and provider. This reliance transforms solitude into serenity. Even in the quiet of her home, she feels accompanied by the remembrance of Allah, the recitation of Quran, and heartfelt supplications. Such reliance builds resilience, because when challenges arise, her trust in Allah equips her with patience, hope, and certainty that every hardship carries wisdom. 3. Protection of modesty and chastity. Islam places immense honor on women who safeguard their modesty and chastity, as these are treasures of faith. A woman who chooses to live alone without haram connections actively protects these values. In a culture where unlawful relationships are normalized, her decision becomes an act of worship and a shield against temptation. Protecting her chastity is not simply about avoiding zina, but about preserving her entire identity with dignity. She chooses to guard her speech, her dress, her interactions, and her emotional boundaries. This protection allows her to move through life with self-respect and clear conscience. Islam acknowledges that the struggle to remain pure in a time of widespread immorality is a great act of patience. For such a woman, her modesty is her crown, and her dignity is her strength. By safeguarding herself, she upholds values that strengthen her in this world and elevate her in the hereafter. 4. Focus on worship, knowledge, and growth. Living alone provides a unique opportunity for uninterrupted worship and personal growth. Without the distractions of haram relationships or unnecessary attachments, a woman can dedicate more time to nurturing her relationship with Allah. She can engage deeply in salah, Quran recitation, dhikr, and dua, acts that bring tranquility to her heart and strengthen her iman. Beyond worship, solitude allows for intellectual and personal development. She can pursue Islamic knowledge, study the lives of righteous women in history, and reflect on her own journey of faith. She may also focus on skills that benefit her dunya and akhirah, such as education, creativity, and community service. This balance of spiritual and worldly growth makes her a well-rounded individual who thrives independently. Her growth is not selfish, but purposeful, as it equips her to contribute meaningfully to society and inspire others. Ultimately, living alone becomes a period of cultivation, preparing her for greater roles with wisdom and confidence. 5. Fulfillment through halal means. The modern narrative often suggests that fulfillment requires constant companionship or romantic involvement. However, Islam teaches that true fulfillment is found in halal avenues that nourish both the heart and the soul. For a woman living alone, fulfillment comes from pursuits aligned with faith. This could be building a career that upholds integrity, engaging in acts of charity, or developing talents that serve the community. Halal fulfillment also includes creating a lifestyle that brings joy within the boundaries of Islam. She may travel to appreciate Allah's creation, nurture hobbies that enrich her mind, or establish routines that keep her physically and mentally strong. By choosing halal avenues, she demonstrates that happiness does not require compromise. Every act done with the right intention becomes a source of reward, making her life meaningful even in solitude. Her fulfillment stems not from fleeting desires, but from sustainable, pure choices that align with divine guidance. 6. Honor in Islam for dignity and taqwa. Islam does not measure a woman's worth by her marital status, her relationships, or her social standing. Instead, honor in Islam is rooted in taqwa, consciousness of Allah. A woman who lives alone while preserving her dignity and avoiding haram relationships earns immense respect in the sight of Allah. She embodies the Quranic principle that the most honored in the sight of Allah are those with the most taqwa. Such a woman reflects the qualities of piety, self-respect, and patience. She proves that dignity is not dependent on societal validation, but is inherent in her devotion to Allah. Her life becomes a testimony to the beauty of faith over fleeting worldly standards. Islam elevates her, not for her solitude itself, but for the values she upholds within it. In her, we see the true essence of empowerment, an empowerment rooted in obedience, integrity, and unwavering trust in Allah's mercy and wisdom. Living with dignity, modesty, and reliance on Allah is the true power of a woman in Islam. May Allah grant us strength to avoid haram and live with taqwa. If you found value, like, share, and subscribe to Pious Deen. Comment, may Allah keep us steadfast.